Mia stared at the blank canvas. It loomed before her, stark and white, mocking her inability to fill it with the images swirling in her mind. Her charcoal pencil felt heavy in her hand, the weight of her own expectations pressing down on her. Frustration welled up inside her, hot and suffocating. Why was it so hard to translate the visions in her head onto the paper? Doubts, like insidious whispers, began to fill the silence of her studio apartment. Was she good enough? Did she have any real talent? The blank canvas seemed to amplify these doubts, reflecting them back at her with cruel clarity. Mia sighed, the sound heavy with defeat, and set the charcoal pencil down, the sound echoing in the quiet room. It felt like she was climbing a mountain, she realized, a mountain shrouded in dense fog. The peak, her goal of becoming a true artist, remained hidden from view, the path obscured by her own self-doubt. And the fog was thickest tonight, making it impossible to see even the next step. Mia leaned back, closing her eyes, and tried to remember why she had ever dared to dream of becoming an artist in the first place. The climb was always the hardest part. Each step forward felt like a monumental effort, her legs heavy with the weight of her anxieties. The path was treacherous, littered with slippery rocks that threatened to send her tumbling back down with the slightest misstep. Each failed attempt at capturing her vision on canvas, each crumpled piece of paper felt like one of those falls, leaving her bruised and disheartened. Then there were the gusts of wind, fierce and unrelenting. They came in the form of criticism, sometimes subtle, sometimes harsh, but always chipping away at her already fragile confidence. A carelessly worded remark from a classmate, a dismissive glance from a stranger at an art fair, even the silence of her own family when she showed them her work. Each gust threatened to extinguish the flickering flame of her passion. And always, there was the fog. The ever-present uncertainty, the fear of the unknown, shrouded everything in a disorienting haze. The fog whispered doubts in her ear, questioning her every choice, making her question if the summit was even worth reaching. Was this constant struggle, this relentless self-doubt, just an intrinsic part of being an artist? Mia wasn't sure, but she knew one thing: she couldn't give up. Not yet. Through the fog, glimmers of light began to break through. Memories, like stepping stones, appeared along the treacherous path, reminding her why she had started this journey in the first place. She recalled the words of her high school art teacher, Mrs. Thompson, her voice warm with encouragement. "You have a unique way of seeing the world, Mia. Don't ever lose that." Then there was Liam, her best friend since childhood, his unwavering belief in her, a constant source of strength. He had been the first one to see her sketches, the first to encourage her to pursue her passion. "Your art speaks to me, Mia," he had said, his eyes wide with genuine admiration. "Don't ever stop creating." And she remembered the strangers, their faces a blur now, who had stopped to admire her work at local art fairs, the way their eyes lit up, the smiles that spread across their faces, the genuine appreciation in their voices when they spoke of her art. These were the moments that fueled her spirit, that reminded her that her voice, however small, had the power to touch others. These memories were her anchors, holding her steady against the winds of doubt, reminding her of the beauty she carried within. They spurred her forward, giving her the strength to take another step, and then another, always upwards towards the summit. The climb was arduous, but slowly, steadily, Mia ascended the mountain, and as she climbed, something miraculous happened. The fog began to lift. With each step, the air grew clearer, the path easier to navigate. The doubts, though still present, no longer held the same power over her. She had faced them, wrestled with them, and emerged stronger on the other side. Finally, she reached the summit, and the view, it took her breath away. The world stretched out before her, bathed in the golden light of dawn. Mountains rose in the distance, their peaks piercing the clouds. A vast azure sky spread above her, filled with the promise of 1,000 tomorrows. It was breathtaking, awe-inspiring, and in that moment, Mia knew she had conquered more than just a mountain. She had conquered her own self-doubt. Emboldened, she returned to her studio, the blank canvas no longer a source of fear but an invitation. Her charcoal danced across the paper, her movements confident and sure. She poured her heart and soul into her work, no longer afraid of judgment, no longer hindered by doubt. And when her first solo art exhibition opened, her heart swelled with a mixture of pride and gratitude as she watched people admire her work, the same look of wonder in their eyes that she felt when she'd reached the mountaintop. Mia had found her voice, and it was beautiful. Help us grow our community.